Victoria and is also the Executive Director of the South African Mathematics Foundation. It's good to have you on the program. Thank you very, very much for being our guest on the program.
Good morning. Nice of you to invite me.
Thank you, Prof. Is it true that the standard of mathematics education in our school is extremely poor? And what do you believe is behind it?
I think these claims are somewhat exaggerated. Of course, there are some problems, and this is clear from what happened at from this report of the World Economics Forum. So, yes, there are some problems, but it's not for a lack of trying from many institutions, including government and NGOs, including the South African Mathematics Foundation. So, yes, there are problems, but I think we are doing something and we are improving the whole situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, there's so many facts that are leading to us to believe that things are not where they should be. Obviously, there's a lot behind the scenes that are happening, and perhaps you can enlighten us. What is going on? What's being done to help the situation?
There are a number of efforts running on many fronts. The Department of Basic Education, and I have to say that they are trying their level best. Of course, not everything is honky-dory, as you said, and we seriously need to address the situation. But if I think of these annual national assessment tests that they introduced, the Olympiad that we hosted here some time ago, there are many things that are done. Projects with learners, projects with development projects with teachers run by the South African Mathematics Foundation as well as other NGOs and run by government. There is a lot being done. Unfortunately, we don't seem to improve in the eyes of the world. If one looks at the results of these international measuring criteria, and perhaps we should, rather than criticizing these reports, realize that there is something wrong and that we still need to move a little faster. So what I'm saying is we are making progress, but perhaps not rapidly enough.
Yeah. Let's look at the disparity. And there seems to be a general belief that white students perform better than black students in mathematics. Firstly, is this a true assertion?
In fact, yes, that is true to an extent, but I think it's because of the quality of the schools that they go to.
Fair enough.
And that is one of the big problems that we currently have, is that there are pockets of excellence, and let me be quite frank about that. We have some schools that are performing excellently, and not only in the urban areas, even in some of the rural areas. If you look at some schools in Limpopo, in spite of the circumstances that they live in, they still perform well. So there are some role models that we could follow. But of course, the urban schools with the infrastructure that is available and the quality of the teachers that we have in most of the urban schools, the performance is also better.
Yeah, you know, I've had so many conversations about teaching mathematics, and we've focused on it quite a lot on the program. But you know, sometimes there is criticism based at the teachers and their manner of teaching mathematics and science, that perhaps it's not aimed at the student to understand it. It's just giving the facts and it's left for the student to understand it, whereas it should be made more practical, more interesting, more exciting. And that perhaps could help. Do you agree with this, that the method of teaching is wrong?
No, absolutely. Currently, the way that we teach mathematics is very technical. So that means you teach students how to do stuff. You don't teach them why things are what they are. You don't. There's no deeper understanding of conceptual mathematics. And I think we need to make space in our curricula for more problem-solving activities. And for that, I plead strongly that there's more participation in Olympiads, in competition mathematics, because that's the nice part of mathematics. Mm. Unfortunately, the way that we experience mathematics is very one-sided. I'm not saying this is not mathematics. Of course it is mathematics, but it's only one side of mathematics. And with that goes this strong focus and strong emphasis on exam results. So there's a strong activity in preparing and coaching learners for performing well in the exams. And there's nothing wrong with it, But that's not really why you learn mathematics. You don't learn mathematics to get a good mark in the end of grade 12. You learn mathematics to equip you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You may be going into a numerical career or a numerical study program at university, and that is why you need that mathematics. So the focus on performance, I think it's too strong at the moment. It's stronger than in many other countries.
Yeah, yeah. I think what's so interesting is what I've been told about mathematics is I have always believed that maths is something you need to learn. It's something that you need to know and learn it and know those theorems and write them down and learn them off by heart, not necessarily understand. But that's not the way it should be. And again, I bring that into question. It's that, I went to a good school and I was taught that's the way of learning, and that isn't the way it should be.
Yeah. What happens then currently is that perhaps not the best mathematical minds perform best in the exams because of the almost skew way that the mathematics is taught. And that means that some of our best brains may decide in the end not to go into a numerical career, and so we miss them. We want them to become engineers. We want them to become accountants and go in some numerical career. Or let me rather say we want them to become mathematics teachers, because that is one of the big problems that we currently have. The quality and the number of good mathematics teachers are just not sufficient. We need more good teachers, and the status of the profession should be raised.
Yeah.
You will, if you ask high school children whether they want to become a teacher, a mathematics teacher, few of them will respond positively. And we need the best of our current generation to teach the next generations. So I think one of the big problems currently is the status of mathematics teachers. We should raise that, and it should be an honor to teach mathematics.
I tend to agree with you, and perhaps go into the schools where teachers are learning and try and adjust the curriculum there. There was recently a newspaper article that basically blamed Naledi Pandor for the deficiencies of the level of maths and science education and protesting her return to the ministry. What's your take on this?
No, I don't agree with that at all. I think she's done a good job. She's not in education anymore, but even in science and technology, I've worked with her on more than one occasion, and I'm quite impressed with what she did. Of course, not everything is going as well as we would like we would like it to go, but I cannot share that criticism.
You in general appear rather optimistic that we can turn things around.
Oh, I am. And I think if we take hands at this moment, listen to what these international measuring criteria tell us, and decide we are going to do something about that now at an even more faster pace than what we've been moving along, I think we can change the situation. Three things that I would recommend. First of all, as I said, status of mathematics teachers. Secondly, I think mathematics has grown so wide that we do it very superficially. And we're trying to cater for too many students with one mathematics subject at grade 12. There should be an opportunity for more. With the current mathematics, the proper mathematics in grade 12, on the one end, almost 100,000 learners get a final mark of under 30%. Well, on the other end, we're not preparing these kids properly for university mathematics. So we're trying to cover too many children with one subject, and I would like two subjects possible, for one that most students do, but an additional subject as part of the package. And then lastly, as I said, if we could focus more on Olympiad mathematics, problem-solving mathematics, and I would put in a strong plea for making participation in competitions almost compulsory.
All right, let's leave it there. Thank you for your opinions. Thank you so much for being with us here on the program. Johan Engelbrecht, he's a professor of mathematics education at the University of Pretoria, joining us in the Pretoria studios, and he's also the executive director of the South African Mathematics Fund.